my god.
Yeah, this kind of inspired me. Like, I feel like I haven't done anything. Well, I've done things, but like, yeah.
We're recording.
Namaste, okay.
Okay.
We're starting.
We are starting.
You're right.
So, do you want to go by Marisa Campbell or Missa Muse?
Oh. This is the first time I've ever had this question asked to me.
On the spot right now.
Yeah, because like, Missa Muse.
Muse?
Let's do that.
So,
Well, okay.
Why don't you, Missa Muse, sort of introduce yourself to any listeners or viewers or what have you?
All right. Hey guys, my name's Missa Muse. I am a singer-songwriter, alternative artist, producer, actress, very just, performer type person. Was born in Alberta, grew up in Sarnia. Now I'm in school at Fanshawe. I went to the music industry arts program at Fanshawe. I'm a recent graduate, so I'm kind of in my realm of growth post-school, and then I went back, so that's kind of who I am right now. I'm also missing a tooth right now, so it is what it is.
You'll get what you get.
You get what you get, exactly.
Way she goes.
Yeah.
Now you also skimmed over, because I know in your MIA time, you won an award.
Oh, I did.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
So, ironically enough, I had to find out from my professor if I was the first woman to win it since the program began, and I was.
That's insane.
Which is kind of dope because I didn't find that out until like the last few months. So, yeah. Basically, it's just an award that recognizes spirit, rock and roll spirit, musician spirit, high energy, perseverance within the student body program, and just pushing through things and just having the thing, I don't know, the spark of the thing, Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
pretty cool.
That's incredible, and
Thanks.
it was just one of the things that I really thought was interesting, because it is one of those things there's females in rock, obviously. Like, there are some incredible, memorable female rock bands throughout history. But I feel like in the current day, there still kind of needs to be a bit more hype. I feel like women need to be hyped up a bit more in rock. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of good metal, but I love a good female metal band. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
You know what? Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Especially everything that's going on in the Hollywood industry right now. I feel like there needs to be, bring it back old school. Bring it back, old school. What music is really about. Getting your best friends in a room and just creating things on the spot.
That's
Make the magic,
the typical. Yeah, you can't not just get into it when it happens.
It gets
right?
you hyped, yeah.
Gets you going. Gets the people going.
It gets the blood flowing. I'm owning my femininity and I'm okay to show my skin, or do I want to be the more conceited, I'm a businesswoman, I'm composed, I'm closed off, and I'm respected? But because there's just, we can't, there's a way where we can't win,
Yeah.
No,
yeah, I know exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just, you can't win. So we have to find that middle ground in that movement where it's people can just be a rock star and just let them just be the rock star that they can be, artsy, weird
boost.
kick.
Yeah. For sure, mine's Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh! Yo, that show actually traumatized me. That movie traumatized me. I remember watching it when I was 10 or 12 when it first came out, and that white character with the eyes go walking like that. Oh yeah, done.
When it starts eating the fairies, I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Pile of kids' shoes.
Yeah, it's quite the movie.
Oh man, I'm so glad you brought that up. I feel like not a lot of people know that.
It's
that
so
film,
funny showing it to people. Especially people who haven't seen any memes or jokes about the white little this.
Oh my god, it's freaky.
It's awesome.
Watch it, it's good.
Exactly. Prime reviews.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to see that you were the first woman to win the award.
Yeah, thanks.
The Jack Richardson Spirit of Rock and Roll Award.
Yeah.
And just very articulate in accepting it, and very like you were not incredibly fazed by, like, you were appreciative of being the first woman, but it wasn't the thing that you focused on. And like, it's an incredible breakthrough, like it's awesome for women, but you didn't use it as like your stepping stone. Like, you still just skyrocketed just as Missa Muse.
Man, everything's ebbs and flows, and I was surprised to win that award, and I'm not gonna lie, like when my name was called, I wasn't wearing shoes, and I ran from the bathroom. So if anyone was at that award show, like, anyways, but yeah, no, like, I don't know, I didn't realize you could build a career in music until like I realized, and that was only like recently. So I feel like, yeah, cool. It was cool recognition, and it's sweet, but like, I don't know.
No,
I bless your heart, and I love awards, and I think awards are great, but there's always the next thing, right? And it's like, it shows the recognition, and it's good, but it's like, I can still be better. Like, there's still more improvement. There's still, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's great motivation.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great recognizing of talent and skill.
Yeah.
But, like, I was just talking with the artist Peach Milk Sabrina that I had on my podcast. She's saying about how you can get these massive dopamine kicks from like a success, and sometimes it can push you to do great things, and other times it can kind of lead to like almost an exhausting feeling of like wanting to keep that up, and then sometimes it can be demotivating, and it can be, sometimes awards can even mean like pressure on yourself now. You feel like you have to keep up this like status or energy.
You just hit the nerve. So I guess, yeah, that award, it kind of closed the chapter of my education in MIA, like what I did, how I moved, like that was great. But yeah, I talked to so many profs after like the program, and they told me to just have a break, to not do anything, and to just like sit and kind of reset. And it's true. Like, I skyrocketed in that program, and I didn't realize I could until I did. And then yeah, you do all these fun things, but then the second that like you stop doing them, you plump. You do plump, and it's like, it's waves, and it's hard. Like, the industry is so hard.
Yeah.
And it just, yeah, like, oh man, what was the question? Like, I don't know.
I don't even know if there was a question. I think we are literally just discussing how tricky the music industry actually can be.
Oh yeah, flux and flows, ebbs and flows. Yeah, the highs and lows. Sorry, ADHD is so bad. It is not bad, actually.
ADHD.
Neurospicy. It's the ebbs and flows and the highs and lows, and I realized the stage is where I get the best high. And after having a break since school, like I had one gig since I graduated, and I can feel my body and my whole soul being like, okay, I need it again. Like, I need it again. And doing this right now is inspiring me to do it more and be like, okay, yes, like that's what I need to be doing. But like, we're also taught, like in the music industry, especially when you're starting out, and any kind of creative industry, like any creative artsy thing, it's good to have different realms of like income and streams of income and things that you're doing. So yeah, like I write my music, great stream of income, but then it's good to have some business stuff in the music industry, because a lot of labels, they want their artists to have business knowledge and XYZ, know how to promote stuff. So the industry is hard, the ebbs and flows are hard, and yes, the perseverance and pushing through it all is key. It's key. I think that's where we were going with that, right?
Yes.
Okay, we got there.
So when you won the award and you kind of really realized that this was like your avenue, what was some of the first things you thought of going and doing? What were some of your first, like, I need to go do this, I want to go do this?
I wanted to learn more about marketing, to be honest with you, because when you release a song, it's a product, and that's kind of why I haven't released any music yet, and I'm still working on stuff. It's because it's a product, and I wanted to learn more about myself and what I wanted to say with my voice in the world, and know how to market that properly and express and be creative, because, you know, it's art and it's your art, and, you know, you should be happy to just release it, right? But I also learned that, like, I make shit music sometimes, you know, like I make shit stuff sometimes, and I don't want to always release stuff. So I feel like my goals were to learn marketing, learn more about myself, and live a little bit, get more life experience. That way there's a little bit more substance to my songs, maybe more like, more life lived, more wisdom, more meat to the potatoes. Yes. Exactly, right? Like more oomph. Like, I've written so many songs, and some of them, like, are good, but then when I go back to them, when I wrote it like 5 years ago, like the energy's different, right? And I'm always growing, right? So, like, the energy's always changing. So for me, like, I feel like my goal is to really, like, be still and, like, know what I want to say in my music, and that's kind of like, that's my next step. Because once the music's out, it's out, right? And, like, I wanna create good shit, and I know what good shit is.
That's the thing. Like, an artist, one of the best skills an artist can have is the skill to edit.
Yeah.
And give self critiques.
Yeah.
And take them to heart. Not too much to heart. Mm-hmm. Not all the time. Mm-mm. But, like, being honest with yourself of, like, I can do better.
Yeah.
I can word this differently. I can paint this more accurately. I can whatever. Blah, blah, blah. You know, if you can just, like, not everything's going up on the fridge. You know what I mean? Not after a certain point, once you reach a certain level, you yourself become the only way you're going to elevate yourself. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much you can get from other people. You have to, like, look at yourself.
You have to fail too.
That's the thing. You have to accept the L's.
Yeah.
You have to eat the L's.
Yeah. Like, you know, one of my big things that I did after school was I loved, like, engineering and the tech stuff and live sound. So I took a break from my musician and front woman and songwriting, and I wanted to do more tech stuff. But, like, I took a lot of L's. Like, there's not a lot of gigs in that too. And honestly, like, it kind of made me realize, like, oh shit, like, I want to be on the stage, you know? I don't want to be behind the scenes. I want to be on the stage. But, like, it takes time to get there, and it takes work to get there too. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
No, yeah, it is. And that's the other thing too, like, sometimes I think people get into music or the arts in general because most of the time growing up, it's not really viewed as, like, an option as a career. They're like, oh yeah, you, like, paint in your spare time, or you like to sing. Yep. And I think people view that as, well, it's not that hard to do. So when they try to do it, they're sadly mistaken and super let down. Not saying that that's everyone's viewpoint, but it does seem to be surprising to some people just how hard the art world can be.
Yeah.
And as supportive as it can be incredibly mean.
Yep.
Like, it can be rough.
Yep.
Like, everyone turns into a professional critic real fast.
Yep.
So,
you know, you sometimes you lose friends. Mm-hmm. You burn bridges are sometimes burned. You know, mm-hmm. It's not something we want to accept because people are always like, don't burn your bridges. But, you know, you grow and shit happens, and then, like, you know, you gotta persevere through it, and then, like, take the L. You know, and life is ebbs and flows like this all the time. But then it slowly goes up, I feel, you know, at the end of the day. The trajectory is always upwards. Silver lining, I'm an optimist. But, like,
you gotta be.
It's fucking the real world.
You'll die if you're not.
Dude, yeah. For real.
It's terrible.
For real. For real. But you know what? You gotta ignore the outside noise. You gotta. And it's hard, but that's so hard. It's not easy to do. It's really, really not easy. And as someone who's really, really fucking sensitive too, like, having thick skin, it ain't easy. You know, and I'm sitting here like, oh, thick skin. Oh. You know?
Yeah, no, and I think that, again, it's just one of those things that people are so surprised at how up and down the art world can actually be. Yeah. Like, either you grow stronger than you ever thought you could be.
Yep.
Or you give up on your dreams. And it's, like, heartbreaking, and it's just, like, yeah, the art careers can be insane.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Like, just so insane.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I kind of felt like I I felt like a washed up artist a little bit. Coming back to the whole highs and lows, like that high in school that I got, especially with the award and like the kick-ass show that I put on at the music hall, like it was a high, you're right. And then going into the real world and not being that like, yeah, and it's like boom.
Yeah.
And then you realize, wow, there's like 50 other beautiful women who are like talented and have like star quality, star power. And then those are like the collective that you're also working with.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so like it's, you know, what makes you stand out from those people and, you know, and yeah, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard.
It is fucking hard. Yeah, it's one of those things too where everybody draws motivation and inspiration to get out of those lows in like crazy different ways. And like, what were some of the ways that you have managed to start getting yourself motivated again, get working into the music, like really making it again?
Yeah, so this definitely helped. Bless your heart.
Doing things.
This is great. This is great stuff here. I feel like when people reach out and they want to work with you too, like that's huge. Like I've reached out to a few people and like send ideas, you know, like sending my ideas, and then they're like, oh yeah, and then you don't actually get any reciprocation.
Yeah.
So it's really sick that you reached out to me, because that inspires me too, because it's like, oh, maybe I am doing something right, you know, like it's that validation, like, oh, maybe, you know, like, yeah, because the inner critic is so loud for art, it's so fucking loud, you know, so like that validation, and that's what keeps me going, is that when people, you know, the connections, it's the connecting with people, like, you know, when someone sees the spark in you, and then, you know, it makes you feel like you can do it. And then it's a domino effect. Someone sees your spark, you see someone else's spark, and then everyone else is just freaking flourishing, and it's great. You know, like this is what inspires me. And then seeing some of my friends do great things, like that's what inspires me. I wish sometimes I was able to like really like see it for myself, so that I can kickstart. But I feel like it's my journey. My journey it requires me to stay humble too. Like I like to be humble, you know, and try not to let ego take over. But that's hard too, because when you know you're good at something, the ego can take over. And I've definitely had that happen to me too. So it's a double-edged sword.
That's the thing. Ego can be just as much of a killer as demotivation can be. Like if you're too motivated and too up on yourself, you can be your own worst enemy.
Well, and that's just it, right? So like, for me, the motivation stems from like the real reason, like why do I do it? It's because I love it. Yeah. And then when people are like, no, Marisa, like I want you on your show because like I seen you at the, it's like, oh fuck, like okay, like, you know, that's motivation. But it's when you're at the top all the time and people are constant, like, and then you let shit go to your head, and then you start treating people like crap, and then you know, that's when you're like, okay,
that's when you start burning bridges that you don't want to burn.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I've had that happen, done that too. I've took the L, you know, I have to, you know, so, but it's ebbs and flows.
Oh, for sure, yeah, just like everything in life ebbs and flows. Like it's just, you always have to have the viewpoint of, if it's bad, it will get better. Yeah. Even if you don't believe it, make yourself believe it.
It's so silly, but it works. Like you really do. And yeah, like I feel like the motivation has to come from deep within. Like I always come back to music. Like music is not like singing and being a performer. It's not my like number one choice. Because if it was, I would be doing it right now. But I have like a constant little like, no, not yet. You're not good enough yet. No, not yet. But like, it's like, okay, but at what point am I going to shut that up and actually do it, right? Because it's all in here. It's like, you can do whatever you put your mind to, literally.
Oh yeah. Well, I had that same thing kind of happen with the podcast before I started, and I'm like, you know, I would love to just talk to artists of any kind. People like talking. Artists like talking. People like listening to artists talk. Oh my gosh, I should do a podcast. And then I sat on that idea for a few months and then said, fuck it. Yeah. Why not just do it?
Yeah.
So, and now I'm talking to my second person
And it's
not
great.
canceled yet.
It's awesome. It's great stuff though. It's so good.
No, yeah. I'm so happy that it's going, and it's going well in the way that I wanted it to go well, where I feel like it's bringing the art community together. Like, I'm not just talking to people, I'm talking to people and about people and bringing people up, like just like sort of connecting, networking almost.
You're building a community, you know, and
a guild of sorts.
Yeah, you're building it, and it's just gonna keep growing. I believe it, you know, and like pure intentions, right? Like people know when something's legit, especially in the industry. Like people know when someone's bullshitting. Like you really can, and like you know, like
no, for sure. And it just comes off as like a lack of likability.
Yeah.
If you're fake, like people can just immediately dislike you. People might dislike you when you're genuine, but that's their problem. Less likely. But if you're being fake, you know, people are probably gonna pick up on it and not. You need to be relatable, or at least real with your art.
I'm with you. I feel like yeah. Being honest, you know, I don't know. I got so much work, you know, music stuff going on, and being real with myself. That like, what kind of genre do I want to create? You know, like I have so many ideas, and I'm like, but like, be real. Yeah. Like, and that's because of that internal like critic. I'm learning to shut it up, and I think that's what's pulling me to do the music. It's like, I was talking to my sister about it, and I genuinely feel like art will save you, right? Like if you find the little creative things that you love doing, it's gonna bring you joy. It will bring you joy. And that's a motivation to keep, I feel like, let's go back to like the motivation of what keeps like artists motivated is because you love it, right? And when you love something, like that is like so deep within you, like no one can take that away from you. Like that's how I feel about music and singing. Like I know it's gonna happen one day, but right now I have like other shit that I'm dealing with, right? And it's just life, you know, but like because you love it so much, like there's an underlying thought that I do believe it's gonna happen, but then I have an inner critic that's like beep beep beep, you know. It's like, oh my god,
it is such a double-edged sword too, because it's like, to create you have to have the experience or the emotion to create from. And the only way you can get that is from life, but then sometimes life doesn't let you create what you can, and it's so
I feel like because I had my heart broken and I was homeless in 2024. There was a time frame where like I moved out of my apartment in August of 2023, and there was just a weird time frame where I just didn't have a place to live, so I was on my brother's couch surfing, you know, doing the things, and like that experience alone, like, and then the heartbreak, it was a big one. It was a big one. So like, it goes back to like, take a break from music, live your life, gain those experiences, because then your energy for the music changes, right? It comes from a different place.
It's very raw.
Yeah. So I've been finding actually the music that I've been writing these days, like it's coming from a different place, and it feels like mature. It feels like warm and fuzzy, but like also like
powerful.
But not like in your face, like, oh, woe is me, you know? Like it's like, oh yeah, she's doing this because she fucking loves it. Like, wow, okay. And if we talk shit, that's our problem. Like seriously, like if you talk shit about someone who loves doing something, like that's a you problem, man, you know? Like,
talking shit about someone who loves what they're doing and is actively doing it. You know what I mean? Like they're not just like, you can't shit on someone who's just genuinely working hard for their love. Like it's not, and it's so appealing to anyone enjoying that artist. Because you just kind of get a feeling that person, you're getting a better view of that person than you know. It's very warming to sort of get a look into someone's mind.
The eyes are the gateway to the soul.
Exactly. But no, it is. It's crazy. Art is such an inviting / uninviting thing sometimes. Can be so scary and so fun.
Yeah, but when you're vulnerable, I feel like the key is to truly be vulnerable, you know, and like, example, I was in class a few days ago and I told people that I was in the middle of moving and just out loud in front of class, and like someone was like, oh, there's a time and place for that. But then I had another person who was like, oh my God, me too. Like, let's talk about it. And it's like, hey, who's the real winner? The person who was vulnerable and made a connection and made someone else feel safe and like heard and like created community, or like someone who was the naysayer, you know? Like that.
Yeah, and what a weird thing to say to that.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Who even says that?
It is what it is.
But yeah, no, that's awesome that you've gone through all that and come out positive.
Yeah.
You know?
It's family too. Family helps. Like, knowing who to trust is important as well, because I've lost a lot of friendships and stuff. You know, when you grow and you truly change, and you change your life for the better, sometimes you lose things on the journey, which is fine. But you know, having the few really in-depth conversations, like sometimes all it takes is like one combo with one person that can like domino effect a whole change, and it's like incredible. Like I had that conversation with someone a few months ago back in the summer, and like it literally, like I just felt so seen and heard by just one of my friends who's like also kind of like in the art community, and it was on a different level where I was like, holy crap, like this person actually gets it. Like you can release stuff, you can do art stuff, but like sometimes like it felt seen. I felt so seen and validation, and it came from me being vulnerable with that person and actually just truly opening up. And it's a beautiful thing. It's healing and it's great and it's fucking beautiful. So vulnerability with other artists, I feel like, is a motivator too, because it makes you feel like you're not going through it alone.
It's
right?
like a trust fall, but with your emotions.
Yes.
Like,
yes. And sometimes the closest people to you like can't provide that for you, right? Like your best friend, you know?
Yeah.
My mom, my dad, you know, like, so I, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just so you're not late, what's the time looking like?
Oh,
right.
How's it sounding? Is the show going good so far? Like, is that cool? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know where my purse went.
Hell is everything. Okay, 5:38.
Okay. Would you like to get going?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up quick.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's okay. I just gotta get on the highway.
No, yeah, just.
Do a fun phrase, too.
Yeah, you do your shit and then goodbye, and then
what do we
just
do?
say who you are and anything else you want to say to the people.
Okay. So my name is Missa Muse. Pleasure to talk with y'all today. I have music coming out soon, but I have no dates. You know, like I'm just a girl, I'm just a person, I'm just a human, trying my best to just live my dreams. So like everything's pending. Follow this page. This podcast is great.
Thank you.
It's fucking awesome. And yeah, that's all I got. Namaste. Rebel. Be yourself and rebel. And be kind, but rebel.
And go outside.
And go outside. Get sunshine, vitamin C, vitamin D. Drink a glass of orange juice. One of my mentors told me, one of my professors said, have a glass of orange juice in the morning and it will automatically make you feel better. Orange juice is the juice of the sun. Vitamin C.
That's probably when my grandma's like 100. So, all right.
Have a glass of orange juice.
It's been awesome. I was so thrilled to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, I will let you be free. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Unfortunately, she had to get going early, so we had to cut it short, but she will be back, so stay tuned. I'd like to thank AJ's Bar and Music Hall as well for letting me record and helping me set up beforehand. That was awesome. So check them out. It's AJ's Bar and Music Hall in Sarnia, Ontario. Great music, great drinks, great people. Highly recommend. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, maybe a comment and a share, and subscribe to the channel to help, and stay tuned for more.